Okay, Käū'S death lesson to Nnamdi Kanu Sunday Igboho. Adamu Gaba. Adamu Gaba, a former presidential aspirant, has reacted to the death of Boko Haram leader Abubakar Shekau. Is this true? Because this man has died, well, by the Nigerian army. They've claimed that he's died so many times, but yet still resurrects for some reason. Let's continue. It says, Gaba Shehu says Shekau's death was a lesson to Nnamdi Kanu, the leader of IPOB, and Sunday Igboho, also known as Igboho. Shekau was reportedly killed after a clash between his men and fighters of the Islamic State West Africa province ISWAP. A situation report had confirmed Shekau's death on Wednesday evening during a battle for supremacy. The report said ISWAP fighters, led by its commander Bana Duguri, stormed the Sambisa hideout of Boko Haram and demanded that the terrorist leader surrender his position. He was said to have refused and blew himself up to avoid being captured alive. Daily Post learned that the Nigerian military and intelligence agencies are aware of Shekau's death. Reacting, Gaba said the dreaded terrorist leader should have been stoned to death on live television. The former APC presidential aspirant stated it in a tweet. He wrote, "My only concern in Shekau's death is on him having the liberty to choose how he died. He should have been stormed to death by villagers at Doron Baga Market Square on live TV under the supervision of the Nigerian military for all to see. That will send a message to Nnamdi, Kanu, and Igboho." All right. Shade. I don't know what he's trying to say here, but are you trying to compare Nnamdi Kanu and Shekau? Like, are you actually gonna do that? Like, respectfully, that does not make sense. Respectfully, that is illogical. Respectfully, does not show your level of intelligence when it comes to comparison. How can you compare? I mean, you understand that, of course, the Nigerian government very much threatened of Biafra. They did proscribe them as a terrorist organization, which, no, what is new with the Nigerian government? However, for you to come out and say such and compare, so you're saying that you're upset that, okay, Shekau shows how he died. Of course, first of all, I don't even know if this is real. But if he died, I understand what you mean by, or what this man means by saying that he had the liberty to choose how he died, especially as he's caused a lot of grief and done a lot of bad stuff. So yeah, it's just like that. But then your suggestion is that he could have been stoned to death by people, and that would send a message to Nnamdi Kanu and Igboho. So you're basically telling us to interpret. So what our interpretation is here is that the same thing can happen to Nnamdi Kanu and Igboho, that they can get stoned to death if they do not stop. But I don't understand how you'd compare them to Shekau, because they are not terrorist organizations. So what he's basically trying to say is that if you try to, exercise your rights to self-determination to get your voice heard, you are a terrorist. That is what he's saying. He's basically saying that exercising your human rights is a sign of terrorism. That's what he says. So we should not have human rights. Basically, that's what he's basically saying. He's basically saying that we shouldn't have human rights. That's what he's saying. That's it. Because there is no how you're going to make illogical, unreasonable, and unintelligent comparisons and expect the reaction to not be the same. Come on now. The energy you give is what you receive. Let's just see what are the comments here. Someone says, a presidential aspirant advocating jungle justice, it shows the kind of animals that parade themselves as politicians. Well, tell me, who is that mortal that will not die? What concerns this man with Nnamdi Kanu and Sunday Igboho? These two men came to limelight due to APC government that has been involved in injustice and nepotism and all that. That is very, very true. But it's just like, well, obviously with Sunday Igboho, it's very much more recent. But with Nnamdi Kanu, he been doing this. The Nigerian government been scared. So it's not a thing of, okay, fine, it's all new because of the night. It's just a bit, why? Like, I'm so, like, how? It's so unintelligent. Very, like, unintelligent, classless, lack of critical thinking. Okay, well, you're making basic comparisons and you want to compare the atrocities that Shekau has done to what Nnamdi Kanu has done. Wow. Very wise. And again, if that's the mentality that you have, as somebody says, is this a person that wants to be a presidential aspirant? Is this somebody that we should vote for? These are things that we ignore as Nigerians. We actually ignore these kind of things, and yet we'll still vote for these people. For what? 5,000 naira? Selling our future and our birthright? For what? For a little amount of change, not knowing that the decision you make now is definitely, I think, it's one of the big decisions you would ever make in your life, or consistently, about who's going to lead you and the kind of society you're building for your generations to come. And that's just what it is. So again, of course, it's very embarrassing. It's very, okay, come on now. Come on. Someone says Adam and his family members would die like Käū'S. Is it by force to be one country? I don't understand. But again, we should not say things like that. His comparison was definitely unintelligent. Very, very... did not really indicate that this person is educated and, uses critical thinking skills. It doesn't, because you can't tell me that with signs that are as obvious to see, you'd compare Nnamdi Kanu to Käū'S, a terrorist. I don't understand. See, birds of the same feather flock together. Again, these are the kind of people that you'd see wanting to go into government, and again, that's what the government attracts. Someone here says those abusive words on their perceived foes are those kind of people with animal brains, even though they're not comparable with the statement is about the end. All right, how can a president ask? Okay, we read that. Someone says, who is this fool? This man is nothing but a big fool. Fake news. Käū'S is not dead. God will continue to strengthen you, my beloved Gaba. All right, the next president of Nigeria in your dreams. We have the votes and they have the noise on social media. Yeah, please. Someone says, but how many Käū'S do they have to kill? How many times will this Käū'S die? Well, again, that's why we don't take this very seriously, because the Nigerian army has said that this man has died. Yet this man keeps resurrecting with videos, looking as healthy as ever. Isn't that scary? As well, say it shall never be well with Lord Luke. Oh my days. Amen. Let's take a minute of silence. It says, it shall never be well with Lord Lugard, who merged the north and south to form Nigeria. Amen. I can't imagine sharing this country with an educated illiterate like Adamu Gaba. It's not even that. Why do we have to share if we don't want to share? It is our land. If we know where our land is, if we know where we come from, and we are indigenous of that land, we have autonomy to how we want to use it, not a colonizer trying to determine that for us. Put what I think about this in the comment section below, and don't forget to like and subscribe.